kings and queens around the world. My name is Tsipporah the Explorer. I'm a YouTuber, expat, and podcaster living in Japan. Today I am partnering with Black Asia Magazine, and today I am with Alex.
Hey.
Yeah, Alex has been living in Japan for 8 years. Thank you for joining me today, Alex.
No, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, Alex, please tell me, why'd you come to Japan?
Wow. I've been here so long. I feel like I am Japanese. It's I don't know. It was always a dream of mine to come here ever since I was younger. I feel like a lot of foreigners say like I watch anime or I read manga, which is perfectly fine. But like I did those things, but it also inspired me to one day make my own content. I dream about like making movies, books, comics. I also have my own YouTube channel too, where I mostly focus on fitness, but just the idea of making things, I was always inspired by Japanese subculture, things like that. So when I finally had a chance to come over to Japan, I took the first flight here.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you.
So you are a future filmmaker.
I say it, but I just got to do it. So
Right.
I'm trying.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I wonder, like, what is your creative process? Are a lot of your ideas for film in your mind, or do you write it all down?
Well, that's kind of my big problem. Like, I need to write my ideas down more. But honestly, I get inspired just walking down the street.
Oh, really?
When I see, for example, like a couple, I could think of different ways how they might have met, or like what their backgrounds may be. Or I also lived in the countryside before living here in Tokyo. So like living in the countryside is a totally different part of Japan. There was so many inspiring things, people that I saw there. So my process really is just doing stuff, getting out, and also just kind of exploring what's in my head, if that makes sense. So.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So now, how many years have you been living in Tokyo?
Yeah, so I've been living in Tokyo for about 5 years.
For 5 years. So how would you say life in Tokyo differs from life in the Inaka or countryside?
So that's a good question. Tokyo is an amazing place. It's one of the biggest cities in the world for a reason. It's convenient. It has a little bit of everything. It's not too difficult to find a little bit of home in case you get homesick, I feel like. So it's definitely a comfortable place to live. But compared to living in the countryside, again, like that is a totally... I feel like Tokyo is an amazing city, but I feel like the real essence of Japan is in the countryside. And it's just peaceful. It's quiet. The kids are playing outside. Old ladies give you rice as a home welcoming gift.
Oh my gosh.
It's a different vibe and feeling totally. So whenever I meet people, I always say go to the countryside first. Go out there, visit it, do like 1 year and then move to the city, because the cities are always going to be there. So yeah, I feel like the countryside is just a place that if you're really looking for that real Japanese experience, then the countryside is definitely it.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, so living in Tokyo, I came from Osaka, and so coming into Tokyo and just seeing the hustle and bustle of like the trains and just everyone just all around me, I was wondering, like, what's your experience with interacting with people in the big city? Like, how do you go about like connecting with people here?
It's kind of interesting because like I think I'm the kind of person that tries to get along with everyone. So I really try to match people's vibes. So, for example, if you have a lot of energy, you're gonna have a lot of energy.
Oh,
we're gonna go out. We're gonna have fun.
Yes.
But if you're chill, you just want to go to a bar, you want to grab some shisha, we can do that too. So I feel like in Tokyo, they kind of give Tokyo I don't want to say a bad rap, but Tokyo is kind of cold. Like
Oh,
people
yes.
say, like it's a cold place. People are kind of
Oh,
cold,
yes, yes.
and maybe for some that might be a little true. But I feel like a lot of cities, you can meet people. You can start a conversation. You can get a community here. So yeah, I feel like in my case, I just really try to find what I like, and then just match with people that have similar interests, and then again just match their energy. So
That's amazing. Okay, yeah, so yeah, matching people's energy, connecting with people that have similar interests to you. So I know you told me before that your hobby is like fitness. You really love fitness and working out.
Yeah.
So, and I also know that you have a fitness or like gym, like YouTube.
Yeah.
So, could you please explain a little bit more about like what you do with like fitness? How often do you work out?
Sure. So, I really got into fitness ever since I was younger, and then I just brought it with me to Japan. In the countryside, there was a local gym. And if you come to Japan, they have local gyms where you can work out for maybe an hour or two for only 300 yen.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
300 yen?
Yes, yeah.
I know people paying like 7,000 yen a month.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to go to the gold gyms, the commercial gyms. They have local gyms within your communities, most likely, that you can pay really, really cheap prices for an hour or two to work out. So definitely look into it. Yeah. But in Japan, I found that going to those gyms, and again, just paying like 300 yen, which is about like $3. Yeah, it's a great way to just meet people and like kind of get into the community. So,
yes, actually, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I often go to the gym, and I feel like people are so friendly, or even more friendlier at the gym. Maybe people feel like what I call like the gym high, where you just feel like really relaxed.
For sure.
And so I feel like people more often to, you know, just chat a little bit with me.
Definitely. I made some of my best friends just going to the gym, just talking about workouts, exercises, dieting. So yeah, the gym is a great place to meet people.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I'm curious with COVID, like how did you manage like staying active? Was it difficult for you, or how did were there any particular mandates happening in Japan?
So I was actually really lucky because my gym was still open during COVID. They had us wipe everything down. Of course, masks were mandatory, but for the most part, I could go to the gym every day, and my gym is 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
So I was really lucky in that aspect. And
is your 24-hour gym the same gym that's 300 yen? Or
no,
$3?
so again, like I think if you live kind of locally or in the suburbs, then you're able to find those gyms a lot easier. But for me, there's actually a commercial gym known as JoyFit 24 hours, which is really close to my home. So, you know, it's a little pricier, about 8,000 yen, $80. And I just decided to just use that one.
Okay.
The local gyms in those communities, so like the cheaper ones, the ones for 300 yen, it's not going to be 24 hours. So, yeah, that's one thing to think about. Yeah.
So in the gym, they required you to wear masks like at all times, and wiping the machines down.
Yeah, which is kind of tough because, you know, it's harder to breathe. But, you know, you got to keep safe, and we understood that. So.
Right, yeah.
Also, Japan is really all about cleanliness. So not just the gyms, but like everywhere you go, restaurants, the stations, everywhere is really, really clean, basically. So
everything pristine.
Yes.
Kiss the ground.
I'm curious, like, how's Osaka? Like, is it pretty much? Yeah.
I praise the ground. You kiss the ground. You walk on. It's so clean.
Really? That's
yeah.
awesome. Okay. Yeah.
So, I was wondering, as far as like Japanese culture goes, was there anything very difficult for you to acclimate to or to adjust to?
Not really. Like, of course, you know, the culture is totally different compared to America. I'm from America. But I really love that saying, when in Rome, do as the Romans. So really, for the most part, as long as you're open and you're inviting to another culture, you don't try to bend against it, then I feel like Japanese culture isn't too difficult to acclimate to. But again, if you aren't willing to to bend a little bit, if it's tough for you to see and do and follow, then it might be a little tough. But yeah, I've loved being here, and I've loved like learning and participating in the culture. So it's been really, really good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have like any particular perspective from like the workplace, like being in the workplace and Japanese culture?
Japanese work culture can be a little tough. It's a little different. One of the things I'm still getting used to is the whole kohai senpai
dynamic
system. Because then it's like, oh, because you senpai, you're gonna talk to me like, nah, you're not gonna talk to me like that. No, but like you
can't talk to me like that.
You can't talk to me like that. I don't care if you senpai. No, it's a different system, and you do have to get used to it. But again, it is a different culture, so you have to keep that in mind at all times. But for the most part, all of my jobs and all of the people that I've worked with have been completely friendly, completely understanding that I'm a foreigner, and it's been really cool.
Okay. Yeah. So, going back to what you're saying about being a foreigner, do you, how do you feel, or what's your experience like being a Black man in a majority homogenous country?
It's interesting. Being in a homogenous country, of course, you're different than the native people. So you do stand out. Right. When I lived in the countryside, kids would literally stare at me. I don't know if you get that as well. But again, living in the countryside, I was a superstar. Everyone kind of knew me as that guy. And, and again, it's, at least for them, it's a totally different experience being someone different who looks different and who is just from a different place and culture. So in that aspect, I understand. And yeah, for the most part, living in Japan as a Black man, it's been pretty good. I can't say that it's been difficult compared to living back home in America where things are a lot tougher. But yeah, for the most part, it's been a really, really good experience. And I think as a Black man, I feel really comfortable, safe, and at ease here. Which, yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, that's all we can ever ask for.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I did have one more question.
Sure.
So I was like checking out your Instagram.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's so
For
bad.
the people that want to feel this from more, what can you please share your Instagram?
Sure. My Instagram is _fitness lockdown_. Again, I do a lot of fitness and gym stuff. I also help people if they want help when it comes to that kind of thing. Also, I'm trying to throw in some like comedy kind of gym videos too. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I just want to make videos and eventually, hopefully, turn it into something else besides the gym content. So yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for this interview.
My pleasure.
I do have one more question. I really want to know,
Sure.
What's your opinion about Japanese food and like whether you think it's healthy or like the nutritional aspect of Japanese food? Because I feel like so many people think it's so healthy, but I want to know like.
I can tell you that Japanese food is probably some of the healthiest food in the world. Considering that the people live much longer here compared to other places in the world. So food is a big part of that. The Japanese diet is amazing. Granted, there might be things you might not like, texture-wise, smell-wise, of course, but you can find things that are delicious and extremely healthy for you. I can speak on that because I used to be a lot bigger before I came to Japan. And then when I came and started eating a lot of the food, I lost a lot of weight. So I can tell you, for example, natto. I think a lot of people will hear about natto and the smell, the texture, how it's really, really gooey or sticky or
I love natto. Yes.
It's one of those things that you'll either really like it or not really like it, but it is extremely healthy. They also eat a lot of soy here, tofu, edamame, soy milk. So and also like the meat dishes here are amazing. A lot of fish, a lot of vegetables. I could go on about the certain meals, But compared to a lot of other places, Japanese food is very, very healthy. So I recommend it if you're looking to incorporate some into your diet.
You have recommended food or like meal people should try?
For sure. Most miso soup is amazing.
Oh, yes.
Miso soup is really, really good. A lot of fish, incorporating a lot of fish. Yeah, and a lot of good meat dishes and also rice too. Yeah, it's a really good option.
All right. Thank you so much
No
for
problem.
joining me today, Alex. And I hope people watching or listening can check out your YouTube for fitness. And I hope to see some future films from you soon.
One day.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content on the Black experience in Asia.